Hey everybody, so it's time to talk about that next coin that has a good chance to 20x, 50x, 100x, or more. And it's a coin that everybody out there is ignoring because they don't play the game that I play that's been running for over 5 years, successfully minting some millionaires during the last bull market, and is about to mint some more. But all of you seem to ignore this coin, even though to digging into this project, you don't have to play the game. You just have to understand what made a few coins last time go parabolic. So we're going to talk about those projects really quick so I can make this comparison. So we all know about Terra Luna. Terra Luna was this coin that you could burn to mint dollars, and it went on a parabolic run. Well, how did it do that? Well, this special stable coin that they were issuing had a special DeFi protocol on the backside called Anchor. I believe it was Anchor. You could stake your Terra Luna within there to earn 20%. And then you could also do something called the Deegan box on that platform, where if you staked $1,000, you could borrow another $500 to stake into that same program, so that you could now have $1,500, and then you could do it again and borrow about half the amount you were staking to stake another 250. So it had this kind of crazy protocol where you could really leverage yourself up crazily into this staking portfolio of stable coins that was earning you 20%. Now, because you were earning 20% on more money than you even had, everybody wanted to get this special stable coin. This pushed Luna into a crazy burning cycle that pushed a coin that was literally trading at 40 cents up to a peak of over $100. Now, I also was in another program that actually predates Terra Luna called Iron Finance. They did the exact same thing. They had a coin called Titan that you could burn to issue their Iron stable coin, and then their Iron stable coin had some DeFi platforms within their own site that paid very high percentages. Now, how did Iron Finance die, as it predated Terra Luna, and is why I didn't touch Terra Luna? Well, they had the same backwards compatibility of their token. You could also redeem Iron Finance to get Titan token. Somebody figured out that they were doing their redeems within 15-minute time frames, and some whales played some whale games at the top of that and were able to time their burns and their mints correctly to basically get extra Titan tokens out of the system and dump that project and ruin it. This project never recovered from that. They tried a few things, but they couldn't. And I did make some profits on this one because I saw what was happening and sold off most of my bag. But as a joke, I bought like a bajillion Titan tokens when they fell all the way down to a penny, hoping they could recover. And I was wrong. This site doesn't really work. It's not real. They say go to Iron Lend, but pretty much this is a dead project at this time. But when you go ahead and see, you can see the token here. These things are worth almost nothing. We'll actually go ahead and get Terra Luna back up. Now, why did Terra Luna die? Same thing, because their token worked the same way as Iron Finance. You could you could burn Terra Luna to mint. You could redeem the dollars to mint the Luna coin, and that was the only way you could really get out of those dollars, unless you could find somewhere to trade them. So if you could trade them obviously on the open market, but once they lost their peg and started to lose their peg, you could redeem them for $1 worth of Luna. So that created a death spiral, and that coin went down and died. They've done some things to try to relaunch. There's now a Terra 2.0 there, but basically all of these coins did one thing very simple to go on a parabolic run. They created a very interesting liquidity pool for staking their coin, whether it was straight staking within the Anchor program or being a Deegan kind of liquidity pool farming site in the Iron Finance. And both of those coins went on meteoric rises of over 100 to even, when you talk about a coin that went from 40 cents to $103, that is quite a crazy run. Well, what can a coin do when it starts at 2 cents and is playing the same kind of games? So anybody who doesn't understand, Splinterlands has has a built-in flywheel that works very similar to these other projects. DEC is a stable coin, or supposed to be. 1,000 DEC is supposed to be equal to $1. When this goes over peg, you can burn $1 worth of SPS to get 1,000 DEC, regardless of what DEC is at. So the flywheel goes into effect and we start to burn SPS when you get a situation where DEC goes over peg. Mind you, none of us have to do this because it creates an arbitrage opportunity, and where there are arbitrage opportunities, we usually end up with arbitrage bots that'll do this kind of trading. I'm bringing this up because it's going to explain why, if we can get this token over here to get to peg, this token may go on a pretty wild ride. Now, how come people might want to get this DEC token? Well, there's a couple things going on within the game that you should understand, even if you're not a player of a game, to understand why there's going to be a demand for this token and why there's going to be demand for this token that helps support the floor. All those other ecosystems did not have a game behind them that was being played by thousands to tens of thousands of people that need those coins to interact within that game. So let's go ahead and talk about the SPS staking multiplier for ranked battle rewards. When we play Splinterlands, we earn rewards. Well, there's a post out here that is showing that now we have to stake SPS on our accounts in order to keep playing this game and earn it and earn tokens. So we can play the game and we can earn the tokens for free, but only if we have already bought and staked hundreds of thousands of tokens to millions of tokens at the top of the league, or at least a couple tiny bits of tokens at the very beginning of the game. It's kind of a joke to stake 0.001, but the point is that you can basically come and play for almost free and not have to stake a token to get very started, though you have to own your cards or you don't earn anything. That's another caveat of this game. And then it goes up from there. So the further you want to go, the more earnings you want to make, you have to go ahead and stake more tokens. We're not going to talk in depth about this, but this shows that there is an internal demand within the game that supports the token not just being out there liquid on the open market. We have to, have quite a lot of it staked. The other thing to talk about here is that Splinterlands has a land ecosystem. Now we have land 2.0 here because I'm going to talk to you about the whole vision of land, because if you're someone who wants to know how hard can this flywheel run, you need to understand what is coming into this ecosystem. So when they launch their entire land game, which is going to be, they've already sold 150,000 plots. They're going to have the ability for us to stake our monster cards onto there, but we have to supply 50,000 DEC, or about roughly $50 worth of dark energy crystals, onto the land with our monsters to be able to go ahead and play the land game. The land game, without getting any further into it, is a mixture of your classic stake monsters to let them mine resources, get those resources to be able to make other things within the game ecosystem eventually. But you also will have to buy buildings, upgrade buildings, do extra things, and everything within the Splinterlands costs DEC. The idea of their flywheel is that they have, if you play the game, you're going to have to buy things, whether it's a hut, a refinery, a grain mill, whatever it is that you have to buy within the game, you're buying it with dark energy crystals. It's a stable coin within the game. 1,000 is always worth $1. So if they release a new building that costs $10, I'm going to go buy 10,000 dark energy crystals regardless of their cost, and buy that building. Yes, I know, maybe you don't think this game is your type of game. Maybe you don't care about these kind of TCG card games, but there are millions of people out there that do play these type of games. And when the reward that we get for playing it is the SPS token, which might go parabolic, you could have a bigger player base come into this game and want to play it if we can start to have this token go up in value. Because we had our biggest player base ever when people were winning $1 to $2 to $3 per battle. And eventually in the future, if SPS is worth $1 to $2 to $3 and you're earning a token per win, well, then again, you're going to be winning dollars for winning a match within the Splinterlands. Now, we've talked about that, but just to go a step further, the reason we have this Land 2.0 project that's coming out later, with Land 1.5 ready to launch in the next about 2 months maximum, and Land 2.0 coming out sometime within the next 6 months after that, creates the ability for us to produce over 50 different resources. Now, when we can create these 50 different resources, all of them are going to be, we're going to have to stake those tokens in a liquidity pair with dark energy crystals. We're going to have to get those dark energy crystals off the marketplace and create literally 50 different LP pools that'll then be able to be aggregated and put together. The reason why they want to have everything paired to DEC is because that's going to lock up a lot more DEC. So you have a whole bunch of it being locked up into the land and a whole bunch of it being locked up into these different liquidity pools. Again, because you have 50 different liquidity pools paired up all against your DEC stable token, there's going to be massive arbitrage opportunities that go between those different resources. And so this creates great support throughout the entire ecosystem for this coin. It's not like you can just dump the coin in one of those pairs or even dump dark energy crystals against one of the other pairs, because literally there'll be an arbitrage bot that would be playing for that, because there's all these different liquidity pairs for them to try to play and trade against and make a win and make some money in. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't have the same death spiral as those other coins, but in the Splinterlands ecosystem, when you burn SPS to mint your DEC, your SPS is gone. There is no way to go backwards. You cannot redeem dark energy crystals to get Splinterlands. This is because when the creators of Splinterlands looked at creating this ecosystem, they knew that that ability for the coins to go backwards has been the kink in the flywheels that always ruined the original coin. Now, sure, dark energy crystals in the future, they could lose their peg. We could see them back here around 78 cents if things within the game don't protect their peg. But once the SPS is burned, the SPS is gone, and the SPS is a limited coin, only 3 billion in supply. It's currently still getting issued out, but that's another thing that's protecting this whole ecosystem. If you come over here to the Splinterlands ecosystem, I told you that this isn't, Splinterlands is a game. It's a fun TCG game, but it's also a DeFi platform. You can see here, if you go to their liquidity pools page, DEC is a stable coin, so you have their version of a stable coin with the BUSD stable coin paying out at 12%. You have the DEC stable coin, again, paired up with an Ethereum-based stable coin DAI, paying out at 12%. So if you want to be one of those people that like the idea that you could mint a coin, pair it up with another stable coin, put it into a liquidity pool, and earn a good percentage. I know 12 isn't 20. There is no Deegan box here. There's not the things here that broke Iron Finance and the Terra ecosystem, but there are very promising returns on stable coins. But you can get a little bit riskier. These also don't have to do with the DEC coin exactly, but you can pair this token that might be going parabolic here pretty soon with BNB or with wrapped Ethereum and earn close to either at 40% or 39%. And mind you, the token that is paid out in these liquidity pools is the SPS token that is going to be on the chopping block to be constantly being burned and going parabolic possibly. So these APRs are based on the current price of just under 2 cents. If this token starts to go up, then these APRs are going to start to shoot up very quickly, and then as more people flood in with more liquidity, they'll come back down. As you can see, they also have a couple other more interesting pairs that would, add some additional risk profile, but for some additional rewards. This would be DEC against Hive. If you don't know much about the Hive ecosystem, it is just an ecosystem that the blockchain that Splinterlands runs on. I can talk more about that in another video. I like Hive a lot, but you might not know much about it. And then you have DEC and SPS and the staking that you can do for these. Now, you can do the BUSD pool and the DAI pool on Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, and you wouldn't even ever have to come into the ecosystem. You can buy both DEC and SPS on both of those chains, and you can put the staking there, but you would need to create an account in order to link your wallets to your accounts so that you can go ahead and collect your rewards. But Splinterlands accounts are free. You don't have to buy a spellbook. You don't have to play the game, because they do understand that some people don't want to come and play the game. They might just want to come in and play around within the liquidity pools, or they might just want to come around and play around in the card markets, or they might want to come around and play in the land markets. As you can see, this is the land that I talked about earlier, where all of us pretty soon, hopefully, will be beginning to stake many monsters and many lands, many millions of DEC into this game. So how close are we getting DEC to peg? Well, if we come over here, you can see the current supply of DEC is down to 4.75 or 4,705,000,000. This represents $4.7 million, because 1,000 DEC, a million DEC is $1,000. So this is 705,000. With this 4 here, it's a 4 in front of that, so it's $4,705,000 worth of DEC when it's at peg. We are currently under peg with a 22% discount, so you can take 22% off, and that's how much current money is within the ecosystem. In the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about the Terra Luna run, the Iron Finance run, any of the crazy algorithmic coins that have gone crazy and parabolic, that's not very much money. You could see that if a decent amount of very big wallets wanted to come in and buy up this supply, it wouldn't really take that long. And if you were to buy it now, and you believe that this game does have the right stuff coming into the future to push land up, to push DEC up to peg, as we all need to get it to not only stake monsters into our land, build our buildings on our land, create the liquidity pools for all of the resources, buy the additional sets and cards that are being released by the team within the game, buy the new guild buildings that they are releasing. These are all things that we have to buy in the future. They're all things that we have to buy for DEC. And now we are all going to come and buy it, and if you're a good guild member, when your guild says, hey, you got to contribute 10,000 DEC to the new guild building, you're just going to come and buy it because you have to. If it costs you $10, or if you're lucky right now and you only have to spend $7.80, you'll be glad. But there are tens of thousands of accounts playing this game, and that is with the current reward only at 1.9 cents. But to show you that this new staking requirement within the game that we talked about before, that has just launched, that requires us to stake SPS into the game, and the fact that land is coming is starting to change around the market projection of SPS, we can go ahead and look over here at what SPS has been doing over the last 90 days. Now, this is a token that is currently in its issuance phase. There are lots of farms for it. You can earn it by playing the game. You can earn it by holding land. You can earn it a lot of different ways. And until just a couple days ago, there was no requirement to stake this coin to play the game and earn within the game. There were the liquidity pools, but basically we were on a downtrend. If you actually look at the max time, we came out at close to $1, went back down, went back up near $1, and then it's just been a downtrend as more of the token is coming to the ecosystem. But when you go to the last 30 days, you can see that this has started to turn around. Now, right around here, we bottomed out at about 1.5 cents. Then there was some decent buying that came in. Then the announcement that you'd have to stake SPS into the game came, and we've been straight up since then with only minor pullbacks. Most players who are playing this game do not have enough of this coin staked, so we're going to be natural buyers for this coin, pushing it up over the foreseeable future until they get enough staked to be able to play the game and earn the rewards they want. I know myself, as someone who's a big holder within the Splinterlands ecosystem, I need to buy about 40,000 more SPS tokens, and I've only bought about 2,000 or 3,000 of that 40,000 over the last couple days, because just like everybody in the bear market, I'm having trouble finding extra funds to throw into this. But I'm starting to realize that they took me, a longtime player, and turned me into a buyer of this token, which is completely incredible. But this isn't the token that we need to get the peg, right? This one is. Now, I wanted to show you the dark energy chart really quick, because look, we've got this before to go way over peg. Now, this was during the phase of the game where the SPS token was getting airdropped to people if they held dark energy crystals. It was completely over peg. It was really kind of crazy and unsustainable. Now, because at the time we were earning dark energy crystals for playing the game, this is pre-Flywheel, the new economic model of the game, a lot of us were making quite a decent amount of money playing the game. Then the airdrop ended for holding it. You could only earn for playing the game, and people started to sell off their coins they had bought early on to be able to earn that airdrop. And we went down, 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 and now we've been hovering right around the normal floor. The normal floor for DEC is about 75 cents to 85 cents because it's a product-backed stablecoin. You can buy products within the Splinterlands. If you go to their shop page, there are different things that they sell at different times of the year. They always have a pack sale, but the current pack sale is sold out because we're in a bear market. They're not releasing the next set of cards until things start to turn around. They know people don't have money to buy, millions of packs once again within the ecosystem, but they also have mini sets. This is the Rift Watcher sets. These are for sale. 2 million more packs for sale. You can buy these with dark energy crystals. This is a special mini set that's $5 where the normal packs are $4. These have special monsters that are a supplement to the last set that were released. They have some very strong ones. Nonetheless, I'm just showing you these are the current products they have for sale. So if dark energies crystals go down too much in price, this is what pegs them around 75 cents, because then if you can buy one of these packs for $4 instead of $5, a lot of people will go ahead and buy some of the dark energy crystals so that they can then come and buy some of the Rift Watcher packs. They also have an additional game called Soul Keep, which is going to be a tower defense game that is supposed to come out within the next month. They also have their own validator license that are for sale. Now these are actually for sale with the SPS token because you mint SPS for running these, so they're actually sold in SPS. And the other things they have now, this wouldn't matter to most other people, but you can buy potions. The potions allow it so that when you open your packs, you get additional things. And they have a skin shop where you can buy skins with DEC. Now, most of these are sold out, and they are supposed to be releasing another set of these relatively soon, but we haven't got those. The other thing I would say that is they do have this guild store. These are actually special packs that you can buy special stones for. But when you play the game within the guild, they have these guild buildings, and there's going to be new buildings coming out soon. And within these, we have to make donations of this G power, but the only way to get G power is to buy it with dark energy crystals. So this is how they back their token within their own game. They do special releases. There was a drop recently. If we go back to the the shop page, they have these events. This one was a burning event to burn dark energy crystals as a big raffle they did. Before that, it was a special airdrop of a special legendary monster they introduced into the game. They're always going to try to have lots of things for the player base to buy with the dark energy crystals. So this is one of the reasons we want to get them. But the main thing that is meant to soak all of those crystals up and make sure that we are at peg is the game. But that's the land game. But that's just when you talk about us, the players of the game. What about you guys? What about the Deegans out there? What about the crazy investors? What about the guys that want to see major wins in this next market? Well, would you want to take a risk on a algorithmic stablecoin that isn't algorithmic? Instead, it's product based by a game that has many people playing it and will get more people playing in it as this SPS token goes up in value, and has the same kind of burning mechanic to this token when this token gets to peg. So if you buy dark energy crystals today and we can get to peg, you're looking at a 22% gain. That's not very crazy, but Once you get that 22% gain, you can go ahead and sit here with your stack of SPS going up in parabolic as we start to see this token get bought and burned by bots every time somebody like me, who's a player of the game, comes over to buy some more DEC to go ahead and get more creatures into the land. And just to kind of show you where I'm at, I have 200 lands and only about enough DEC to stake monsters onto 50 of them. So I have to buy another about 7 million dark energy crystals. Then once I am creating those resources on those lands, once that game goes live, every time I create some of those resources, I'm going to have to get dark energy crystals so I can create liquidity pairs. I have to create those liquidity pairs because it's going to be part of playing the entire land game. You actually are going to earn another token for providing that liquidity. It's a game all within itself you don't have to really know about, but the point is I'm never going to be buying that token to sell that token. I'm going to be buying that token to stake the heck out of it so I can enjoy, hopefully, eventually minting my own cards and selling them to the other players. This is what's behind this flywheel. It's not smoke and mirrors. It's not some Anchor protocol with a Deegan box where people are going crazy and minting. It's a group of hardcore fans of a TCG game playing it in the background while you on the top can be playing around with these two tokens that are going to be involved in the next possible big flywheel that creates a parabolic run up. And so, you know, like I said, this isn't financial advice, but I hope you found this interesting. If you wanted to look at a coin, you know, if in a couple months in about 6 months to a year, I think I'm going to be showing you this coin and it's going to be at over $1. And if you didn't pay any attention to this and you actually watch my channel, I imagine you'll be a little disappointed. But, you know, come and take a look at this ecosystem. There's a lot here that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. Thanks, everybody. Bye.